Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope that you're all having a great day and that you're all doing well. To start things off, on Monday, the payment processing startup known as Flexa announced the release of its new custodial crypto wallet known as Spedden, S-P-E-D-N, which allows users to spend Bitcoin, Ethereum, Bitcoin Cash, or the Gemini dollar at a variety of brick and mortar retailers. Although the merchants receive fiat in the end, the partnership enables new possibilities for people looking to spend crypto as easily as they might use Apple Pay. Flexer co-founder Trevor Filter told CoinDesk the wallet app works at Nordstrom, Barnes & Noble, Express, Lowe's, GameStop, Office Depot, Regal Cinemas, and Jamba Juice, that's to name a few. None of the merchants responded to requests for comment, but CoinDesk was able to confirm the details. We also had information earlier that we saw a photo of eBay bragging about them going to accept cryptocurrencies, and also Whole Foods was also part of the other list of companies who are going to be accepting cryptocurrencies. Sarah Olson, head of business development at Gemini, told CoinDesk the exchange company is partnering to provide security for its custodial wallet. In return, the app now provides a new way for stablecoin users to use the Gemini dollar beyond trading. They said whether that's a foreigner who's coming to the US and more easily able to participate in our economy or vice versa. Kind of a weird way to say that, especially as a foreigner who's coming to the US. I'll elaborate on what that kind of means in a certain way. Like I said, it's kind of weird how she phrased it. Anyway, the point is, the idea is in the future, whatever country you might be going to as we enter a more digitized, digital cryptocurrency-based world. Remember those places like when you go to a new country and you have to get their currency and you have to like stand in line behind like 18 people to be able to change your money into the local currency. Eventually that's all going to be completely gone as everything becomes hyper digitized, and we're all pretty much just using cryptocurrencies or some type of digital payment to be able to pay for things. She said the Flexa network is going to be open source, so if you're a merchant anywhere, you can integrate to use their network even without necessarily interacting with the Flexa team directly. This is going to be the first step towards the future of how we transact value. That sounds a bit more correct as to exactly everything that's going on. This is already happening a lot right now. This is why you see a lot of things such as Apple Pay. What's the other one? It's called Amazon Pay and also PayPal. These things are slowly starting to pick up. I mean, not so much PayPal, but the other ones, because everyone's looking for a very easy way. No one's really in the mood to travel to another country and have to take out money and then go get the actual cash for the other country. It's just completely a waste of time, especially when everything is digitized. Here's the actual Medium post right here. For those who are not looking at the screen, the confirmed companies thus far who are going to be, or the following stores where you'll be able to use cryptocurrencies and the Gemini dollars to be able to pay for things are Barnes & Noble, Baskin Robbins, Bed Bath & Beyond, Caribou Coffee, Crate & Barrel, Express, GameStop, Jamba Juice, Lowe's, Nordstrom, Office Depot, Office Max, Petco, Regal Cinemas, Ultra something, can't see the rest of that, and Whole Foods Market. And that's not even including the other companies that we actually heard yesterday or earlier today who are also going to be accepting a cryptocurrency. Oh yeah, one of the other ones was also Starbucks, which is completely insane. And then over here, I have not downloaded this myself. Here's the actual app itself. It took me a while to find it. That's because every time I typed in SPEDN, it kept on trying to correct it to spend. Then I typed in SPEDN iOS and it found it almost automatically. It has a 4.2 stars right now, even though it just came out, and I found out that the only reason why why it doesn't have close to 5 stars is because people they want them to add Litecoin, because apparently they are only supporting Bitcoin, Ether, Bitcoin Cash, and the Gemini dollar at this time. So yeah, very excited for this. This is, I think, one of 2 things that also just came out that allows people to be able to spend their cryptocurrencies or use digital currencies or whatever, blah, 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 cryptocurrencies, and many different stores. I think a lot of these are US based. I don't think I've ever seen a Baskin Robbins or Nordstrom or Regal or Jamba Juice outside of the US, maybe in London. Anyway, let's move on. Next up, so there's a lot happening right now in the cryptocurrency space. A lot of people are very interested in what's going to be taking place over the next couple of weeks, next couple of months. We had a lot of indications of the things that are going to be happening. We know that Bakkt is going to be launching soon. We heard 2 weeks ago that the people from Fidelity said that they are going to be officially launching their cryptocurrency platform, trading platform, in the coming weeks. Once again, that was 2 weeks ago. So a lot of people are predicting where they think that the Bitcoin price is going to go to in the, not even the short term, it's kind of like the very near term over the next couple of weeks. A lot of people are stating that they believe that if we stay above a certain level of resistance, is usually around the $8,100 area for an extended period of time, it could be an indication that we are getting close, or will be close, or moving up towards the $8,500 Bitcoin, which, to be fair, at the moment, depending on where you look, different price metrics, we are not that far. I think the highest that we got was 8,300. That was either earlier today or maybe it was even yesterday. A bit of a pullback. Like I said, nothing can go up forever. Things have to kind of take a breather as they are going up. The very interesting thing that we have is that if we end up hitting 8,500, 9,000 is then not too far away. And all of you should know what's after 9,000. That is the magical number that I myself am waiting for. I have tried my best not to hold my breath. It's a little difficult, especially because you see that Bitcoin is rapidly rising. But the number that we are all waiting for is the $10,000 number. For some reason, it's a very strong psychological, I don't even want to say barrier. It's just something that resides within us, or many other people, especially those who have not been paying attention to cryptocurrencies for a very long time. This happened in 2017 as well. The world is mimicking itself in very weird ways from 2017. If you were into crypto in 2017, I'm sure you're noticing it. As far as the movements, the month of the movements, like the same exact time frames. It's a little weird. I mean, even the prices where we are right now are significantly higher than where we were in 2017. I think Bitcoin at this point was maybe 2,000 or 3,000. It wasn't even around the $8,000 mark, and this was before 2017, where we didn't have all these institutional investors, and now we do. So I'm not going to even get into some of the crazier price predictions that we have right now, but a lot of people are calling for a $10,000 Bitcoin relatively soon. I think the craziest one that I've seen is people calling for a $33,000 Bitcoin by the end of July. I think if we get, rather, it might not be unbelievable, because we know that Fidelity is going to launch. We know that the people from Bakkt have announced that they're going to start their operation, whatever that might be, sometime in July. If we end up getting other institutions also announcing that they're going to either be getting into the cryptocurrency space, or some of them who we may have even forgotten in 2018 announcing, hey, yeah, we're still here, we're definitely going to launch our stuff in the relative future as well, especially if NASDAQ comes out of the woodworks and says, yeah, we're also launching our thing, I think 10,000 is going to be very easy, and I think this will be a major propulsion upward. And then once we get to around the 12, I mean, once we even end up passing a $10,000 Bitcoin, what happened in 2017 was that nobody paid attention to Bitcoin when it was around $900 in January 2017. And then by the time we got to around a $2,000-$3,000 Bitcoin, it was kind of in the news. People were talking about it. Oh, wow, it woke up again. Oh, that's really cool. New all-time highs. Wow, that's amazing. When we were nearing the $8,000 mark, a lot of excitement started, and then by the time we hit 10,000, that's when everything kind of completely went insane. And that was once again when it was just air quotes like normal money kind of floating around. It wasn't really the heavy-handed institutions and institutional investors who we have kind of floating around. There are not a lot of Bitcoin floating around at the moment. Over the last 3 weeks, I've come into contact with at least 15 friends, family members, co-worker people, whatever you kind of want to call it, who have all told me that they have definitely been buying up fractions of Bitcoin. And the other interesting part is that 3 weeks ago, when they announced that they had bought, 0.13 Bitcoin, 0.08, whatever the case might be, they're all so they bought when the prices were lower. Now that the prices are higher, they see that the prices are probably going to go even higher, and they're buying up a lot more. And out of those 15, at least 8 people have expressed to me that they desire to own a full Bitcoin, and how long would that actually take. And I kept in mind that that was only my circle of people that I know, so I can only assume that it's going completely insane all over the rest of the world as well. Keeping in mind that we still do have over-the-counter markets, and there are a lot of people who are probably spending a couple $1,000, euros, pounds in order to try and buy at least 2-3 Bitcoin at one time. it's getting fascinating, and it's happening very rapidly. I'm looking forward to all of it. I just hope everyone is ready for the ride, because 10,000 is the number that we're waiting for, but a lot of people are saying that if we stay above certain levels over the next couple of days, 8,500 and 9,000 are definitely our next targets, and we will probably hit that sooner rather than later. Next up, American digital asset manager known as Grayscale Investments reported a 42% growth in its product inflows in Q1 of 2019 over the previous quarter. The firm announced in a new financial report on the 13th of May. Grayscale was specifically bullish on major cryptocurrency Bitcoin, reporting that the vast majority of investments in Q1 of 2019, that's the first 3 months of 2019, were in its Bitcoin investment trust. According to the report, Grayscale Bitcoin Trust secured $3.2 million in average weekly investment out of a total average weekly investment of 3.3 million. As such, non-Bitcoin investment products amounted to less than $100,000, the firm wrote. That is scarily insane. Non-Bitcoin investments included such products as Grayscale Ethereum Trust, Grayscale XRP Trust, Bitcoin Cash Trust, and others, the firm explained. Total investments, that's a little weird. If they had a weekly average of 3.2 million, that means the month was 12.8, and the entire month there was only $100,000 that went into Ethereum, XRP, and Bitcoin Cash. Total investments into Grayscale products from $30 million in Q4 2018 to $42 million in Q1 of 2019, with 73% of investors represented by institutional investors. The company also wrote that hedge funds increased their investment significantly from less than $1 million in Q4, oh my goodness, to around $24 million in Q1 of 2019. For those who have no idea what Grayscale is, while these numbers are incredibly important, Grayscale is one of the largest investment firms in the cryptocurrency space. They announced sometime in 2018 that just in their fund alone, and keep this in your mind, just within their coffers, inside of their box, inside of their treasure chest, they have more than 1% of all Bitcoin in existence. Keeping that in mind, and this is why these numbers are very incredible. They're not anything to even just kind of take lightly. That means that over the course of the last couple of months, there have been millions of dollars that have been poured exclusively into buying more Bitcoin, not as much into buying the other altcoins. And even then, that's $24 million in Q1 that just went into Bitcoin. So as time goes on, I mean, there's a lot happening within the crypto space. There's a lot of crypto politics going on. There are a lot of people who believe that eventually, one time in the future, eventually, nobody knows when, that if Bitcoin, or rather, I'll say it from their point of view, when Bitcoin ends up hitting a $50,000, $60,000, $70,000, and the hype of getting it to a $100,000 Bitcoin ends up coming true, a lot of people, they believe, these Bitcoin maximalists, that these people will start to sell off their altcoins in order to be able to get on the Bitcoin train, because it'll be the last time that you'll ever be able to get a Bitcoin that cheap. To be fair, I told people that a couple $1,000s ago. But I guess we also see it moving in that direction. I tried to mention before, while I do love altcoins, keep in mind that Bitcoin, at least at the moment, no one knows what the future holds. Bitcoin is the name of the game. Whenever we hear people adopting or using something, it's usually they're accepting Bitcoin. Bitcoin accepted here, so-and-so Bitcoin. Bitcoin's usually always the first thing that kind of gets mentioned. Yeah, that's actually completely insane. And I am sure that there's at least one other financial something investment firm who probably also has 1% of Bitcoin. Yeah, that just once again lets it drill into your head that Bitcoin is a lot more scarce than you actually think that it is. Next up, French crypto hardware firm known as Ledger will provide its technology to American payment startup Uphold to improve security, according to a press release that came out yesterday. Formerly known as BitReserve, Uphold will reportedly increase or incorporate Ledger's institutional custody platform, Ledger Vault, to boost its anti-hack protection by adding an additional layer of security. JP Thierriot, co-founder and CEO of Uphold, said that Ledger Vault integration was mainly driven by customer demand for thorough security measures. According to the press release, the integration of Ledger's tech will enable a number of key benefits for Uphold, including a multi-authorization governance model, support of new ERC20 stablecoins, and other proxy assets such as universal-based protocol tokens, among others. Ledger first rolled out this in 2018. The firm subsequently announced it was expanding its business to New York, also appointing a former Intercontinental Exchange to people who run the New York Stock Exchange as head of global operations. Recently, Ledger announced that Canadian crypto exchange National Digital Asset Exchange would use the Ledger Vault. Yesterday, major crypto exchange Binance announced that the platform was planning to fully... That has nothing to do with anything that's going on. I don't know why this article has anything about Binance. The people from Ledger also got a certification or something like that from the French Authority of Digital Security, something around that thing a couple of months ago. It's really interesting that Ledger is constantly in the news, and a lot of people are now using, and will be using even more so, their technology to be able to securitize, make sure that their cryptocurrencies are safe. Next up, GroundX, the blockchain arm of South Korean internet giant Kakao Corp, has announced that the launch date of its blockchain platform, they said this yesterday at Consensus. Per the announcement, the Clayton mainnet, this is what they're calling it, will launch on the 27th of June, 2019, and will purportedly be a major driver of blockchain adoption in the country. Kakao has a 90%, oh my gosh, market share in South Korea, with a presence in messaging, gaming, content services, financial services, and mobility services. Kakao announced its intention of launching a blockchain platform last March and released a testnet version of Caitlin in October. The platform focuses on decentralized applications. As of October last year, developers were working with around 10 domestic and international partners to test a new ecosystem. Where's the other thing? They're also launching an ICO. Blah, 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 blah. But yeah, they also have plans to release an integrated crypto wallet into the actual messaging app. And I assume that the main point of them doing the ICO was to actually create their own cryptocurrency token, or just to create more infrastructure for the project that they're trying to do. Kakao Corporation, I myself don't use many of their projects as far as I know, but I know that they're extremely large in South Korea. The fact that they have a 96% market share, and the fact that they're going to be launching an integrated cryptocurrency wallet into their messaging app that probably a lot of people within South Korea are using, is going to be massive. In 2017, for those who do not know, the South Korean country and Japan were pretty much in control of the entire cryptocurrency space. They kind of led the crypto revolution, as it were, and I'm excited for them to kind of get back into it at full force. I think there's still a bit of discrepancy within a couple of countries, and I think South Korea is also one of them, as to not the legality of cryptocurrencies, but exactly when and how and so they can be used for. But I don't assume that there's going to be a ban from South Korea anytime soon. To kind of finish things off, the Stellar-based decentralized exchange known as StellarX says it's about to launch on iOS and Android. StellarX gives users the ability to send euros, yuan, pounds, dollars, and other fiat currencies via ACH transactions that can then be traded for cryptocurrencies. StellarX is we have not heard an enormous amount about the Stellar decentralized exchange. Typically, the only decentralized exchange that we were hearing about for a very long amount of time was the Binance one. And there was where was the other one? I can't remember. There was, there's usually not that much talk about the Stellar decentralized exchange. I assume that when this does eventually launch, we're probably going to hear a lot about it, because they're probably going to want a lot of people to actually know about it. I'm glad that we are moving very rapidly, a lot quicker than I thought that we were going to, towards these decentralized exchanges. They are expected to be the go-to place in the future for cryptocurrency transactions, because as of right now, and I've definitely noticed over the last couple of months, there's been a huge increase in the amount of KYC, AML stuff on different cryptocurrency exchanges. I understand why we have these laws. However, it's a major hindrance when I'm even trying to get in to use my money, or to take out my money, or just to do anything to my money. It's kind of odd. So it is believed, no one knows for certain, but in the future, over the next 2, 3, 4, maybe even 5 years, I'll say 3.5 years, it's expected that we are probably going to only be using cryptocurrency exchanges that are decentralized, and that we have a bit more control over the money that we own, that we possess, that we choose to do with how we choose. I think that is going to do it for this video. I hope you all enjoyed. Hope you all are having a great day, a great morning, a great afternoon, a great evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. Hope it's absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching and listening. I do appreciate all of your support. As always, a very special thank you to my Patreon supporters. They are Professor Wally from Gunbot University, SC Verzely Fine Art, Crypto and Beer Shipmate, Brady Niels, L. Doug, Jared Schneider, Wise Night Owl, Shaolin Fried Rice, Gilbo Snake, Crypto Joe, Mohair Maroney, Carl Birchenoff, singer-songwriter Mike Savitz, there we go, Rai Rai, Yasha Harari, Amy Starsheen, Jeffrey Ramsey, Crypnotic, Clara T. Snowden, Crypto Artist, Goldie 3D, Nicholas, One Earth, One Piece, One Love, Setsuna, Nick Kanai, Richie Rich III, RF Dusty, Cody, Vlad the Impaler, Paxis, Jeremy Fox, Jim Gardner, Minting Coins, Arthur Yaku, Nick Mangular Vodi, and Anthony Charles. Thank you all an incredible amount for your support. Thank you all once again for watching and listening. And yeah, I'll talk to you all soon. See you.